Pair of red scissors. Hello, everybody. I'm not talking about scissors. How are you guys tonight? And Spectral Sailor's here. We had to reschedule. And we are glad to bring our friend Anna on and let her tell you about what kind of all the different awesome things that she does. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Annette. And Joanne. How's everybody doing tonight? Let us know how you're doing. Hello, everybody, and this is Anna, and we're gonna, I've talked to her a little bit for about 30 minutes now. We're gonna talk about all the different stuff she does as far as the unexplained and paranormal goes. We're gonna talk about what kind of stuff she makes that helps out paranormal investigators and medium work. So you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself, ma'am?
Sure. I am the founder of Message from the Afterlife. I help paranormal teams get recognized for all the hard work that they do between evidence and what they do in their paranormal life. And I want to make sure that they get recognized for that. Also, anybody between other specific topics that I was telling you, between Bigfoot, Mothman, UFOs, witches, anything of the sort is also part of the supernatural, is more welcome to be on my broadcast as well. Even if you're not even on a team, you're more welcome to be on there with your paranormal story and want to share it with everybody. Is fine with that as well. I'm also a gifted medium. I was born with my gift. I'm able to help people connect with their loved ones to deliver that special message that they need to hear, even if they're not with their loved ones. It can be friends or anybody who is just there with them and they passed over. I'm also the founder of the Spell Candle Shop. I help make candles for paranormal teams. Also, I make books and other things to go along with that as well.
You want to show us the really awesome book that you have next to you that you made?
Yes. I actually have one with me at the moment. I apologize. I don't have any candles on hand, only because I wait for people to come to me to put their specific order in. So this way, when they put that order in, I want to make sure that they have it the way they want, between color, herbs, oils, or any stones that they want on top, for that matter. So, so this is what the book looks like. So I do make these by hand. It's not easy. It takes a little while. I leave them blank only because I want people to use it for anything between a journal, notes. They can bring it to paranormal events or anything like that. If they want spells in it, like the movie, that's no problem. I don't mind doing that as well. It could be both. I can put spells. It doesn't have to be spells right from the movie. If they have a specific spell that they have in mind, they want it to add in there, I can do that as well too. That's not a problem.
And how long have you been doing the paranormal work or different things in the paranormal?
I've been in the paranormal field for 10 years.
And you do readings and like psychic readings or spiritual
Yes.
readings for people if they come to you and contact you or whatever, then
Yes.
and connect with their loved ones, or like do you do like pendulum or like tarot card readings, or what kind of readings?
Pendulum, no. I don't do pendulum readings. I only stick to what is drawn to me between contacting with loved ones and only tarot card readings. A lot of times I don't need the tarot card readings. For me, they're kind of like a tool, only if, if that spirit is not there with them at that time, I'm bringing the cards, because sometimes they're not always meant to get a message from their loved ones. They're only meant to have the tarot cards. It's just how open they are when they come to me. So they can have either or. So that's where that stands. Yeah, I don't do the whole pendulum thing. I haven't gotten to that part. So not really fun with the whole pendulum thing.
And can you tell us about like what do you do now? You said you're kind of working by yourself or solitary at the moment, and you have been on teams and stuff and done teamwork. But at the moment, you have like a personal journey kind of going on.
Yes. Right now I have my own team that I developed. It's called the Research on the Unknown. It's kind of like a journey for myself, and I wanted to show people that I'm willing to do things that others are doing, to where the challenges can be very, very frightening, and I can do it too with nobody with me, which I know you're not really supposed to, but I do it anyway.
I actually think when you do spiritual work, kind of like you do, that part of it has to be a personal, solitary journey on your own, because no one that's on your team might understand that exactly, like, because it's your gift and you've like developed it your whole entire life, so no one's exactly going to understand all of that. So a lot of the stuff you're going to be doing on your own anyways, probably.
Yeah.
I do anyways. I do a lot of stuff on my own.
Yeah. I mean, I've been with teams in the past where I've had helped with cases where they don't even tell me the review before I go into the house. We would go in and do a walkthrough, and I can just pick up on anything that's in the house. And they're like, "Did you read a review?" I'm like, "No, I didn't read anything." And he would bring me on to the side. He's like, "You guessed everything right on that review. I didn't tell you anything, and you didn't read anything." I said, "No, I didn't read anything. I swear to God." And he couldn't believe that I was able to pick up everything what was going wrong with the house. So
That's awesome. That really, you just have to get in there and do it sometimes, and then the more that you do it, the more the stronger your muscle gets. I guess that's what some people say, like your psychic muscle or your intuitive muscle gets. What is like the farthest you've ever traveled, or maybe the farthest you've gone to go see or help someone that needed some kind of help?
Pretty much, I haven't really gone really further like that before. It usually stays where I live. So not yet. I haven't gone further. I'm hoping to. I'm willing to if anybody, really does need that. But no, I haven't gone further traveling with that, only with paranormal stuff.
Jason?
Yeah, I was actually going to say, where are you out of? Where are you from?
I am from Jersey.
Okay.
Awesome.
Good old Jersey.
I don't even think I knew that. I'm just sharing to all these different platforms. That usually I'll like stop for after a couple questions and let Jason ask some questions.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I got the Palo Santo. I'm smelling it sitting there because it smells so good. So.
Yes, it does. And the sage and stuff.
I have those. I like those.
You work with those, yeah?
Yeah. They're very helpful for grounding yourself big time.
So what are some of the kinds of candles?
My candles can be anything that the person desires, between if they want a Reiki candle, if they want a healing candle, if they want a sage candle, or if they want dragon's blood candle, pretty much anything. It doesn't really have to be witchcraft. It could be anything in that category, but well, like I said, mostly for what they desire is what is really the meaning for that for them. So
Mhm. So you get a lot of activity up that way.
yeah, for the most part, we have some good stuff out in Jersey. Like I was just saying, we have the Jersey Devil out this way, and we have really good asylums out up at where I am and stuff like this. So there's pretty much good stuff out this way. So you won't be disappointed when you come to Jersey. So
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff surrounding the Jersey Devil folklore.
Yep.
So I know it's pretty heavy with that up there. But
Yes, it
yeah,
is.
I was just curious if it was you know how open it was up there as far as the paranormal field. Like is there a lot of like community outreach as far as different teams and all that kind of thing up there?
Yes, we have a lot of teams up here. I've been through with half of them throughout my paranormal years. There's a lot of mediums up in Jersey, so there is competition. Sad to say. I wish it wasn't like that, but there it is for the most part. It can get very challenging in Jersey, so it can get overcrowded. So yeah, so there's a lot going on here with paranormal teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's a good thing. It's a congested thing also because like you were saying too, it amps up the competition with everybody. But as long as you're doing what you're doing the right way, your reputation builds. So
Yeah,
that's a good thing. And then it's kind of a word of mouth deal. Lots of
yep,
times because there's a lot of people sitting at home researching the paranormal teams or what their specific need is, and it's just like you said, sometimes there's a lot of choices, and if
yeah,
there's ways to help yourself set apart from that, kind of what you're doing with the candles and everything too. So
yeah,
it's pretty
I think the
interesting.
books that you make
yeah.
are really awesome. I think that's like unique and it takes a lot of work.
Oh yeah, yeah. My hands get pretty tired after a while, but if you really like doing it, something like that, and kind of get used to it after a while. Your mind kind of wanders off once I'm starting making these things.
Yeah.
Now, when you make those books, is it just how you want to make it, or somebody you know tells you kind of what they're looking for and you make it to their specifications?
I can do that, but I kind of make it the way I want it to look exactly like the movie, which is very, very hard because it has very specific color paint. As you can see, like it has different kind of shades to try to match with the movie. But if the customer wanted it in a different color, I wouldn't mind. If they want it in black, if they wanted the opposite, not a problem. Just gotta give me a little bit of time to, get everything situated. So this way the book can be really perfect the way you actually do want it. So if you want the book in red and black, it's not a problem. So that's
That'd be
fine.
really awesome, actually.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
actually gives
Yeah.
me some ideas now.
Or
I want
purple and
to
black.
change the colors.
Yeah, purple and black would be cool. Or
Hey, if you want
green and
purple and
black.
black, yeah, if that's what you
Blue and
want,
black.
I don't mind that whatsoever. I don't mind shipping stuff out either. I have no problem with that. So that's not an issue.
Yeah, I was curious about that, and I know that most people when you see things on a movie or whatever, you want it exactly like the movie because that's what it is, and you want that you want that memorabilia part of it, But how long does it actually take you to make one?
About a couple of days.
Hmm.
If I have no interruptions, a couple of days. So, Yeah, because you gotta put everything together. Everything has to dry and stuff like that. And you want to make sure that it has the right detail and the right structure. And so, yeah, and a lot of patience. So, but yeah, a couple of days.
That's pretty good.
I would personally probably actually be one of the people who'd be like, "Hey, can you make this? Like a specialty, or whatever, instead of just exactly like the movie. I'd want something special.
And that's what you want. That's fine by me. It's fine. Not a problem.
I enjoy unique requests from people, or authentic, personal requests.
That's not a problem.
Excuse me.
Now, would you happen to know, or just like a ballpark of how many you've made, like up to date, you think?
Oh God. You mean between selling and up to now?
Yeah.
About 100.
Oh wow.
Let's just give and take. Because I was at an event last summer and I brought some with me and I had to make like 6 or 8 of them just to cover that weekend. So yeah, when it comes to events and trying to meet them on time, it can get very stressful.
Girl, if you were in Salem, I bet you could, around Halloween time, I bet you could sell like 20 of them.
I know. Yeah. I should really plan on going to an event
right
there.
Place, right time.
Yeah, I should really. I always forget about trying to go to Salem with these things. I never think about it until you said it. So that might have to be on my list now.
They're all about the witches there.
Yeah, I've been there. I like it there. So yeah, it's a great place, Salem.
Kind of what she said. They have a deal like they call, I think it's called Haunted Happenings, where they have those kind of things like that people set up, through October. And not necessarily.
But they also have a thing that's really almost just like a witch festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just Haunted Happenings. I think they have multiple ones, but they have one that is also like a witch festival, basically, like for psychics and mediums and spell workers and people that sell anything under, that genre or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I heard it's very hard to go over there in October.
Yeah. It's very packed and it's very hard to find a room. I know that I looked last year. Yeah.
So that being said, do you make them different sizes or just that one size?
I can make them different sizes. If they want the bigger one, that's no problem. Small, medium, tinier, it doesn't matter. Anything to make the customer happy is fine.
That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, I'm kind of like that way.
I think it's good customer service if you can cater to the needs of someone when you're building a clientele. That is what locks them in to bring them back to you.
Yep. Yep. You gotta always make sure that the customer is happy and pleased. So.
Yep. So, go ahead. If you had a question, I'll ask after you.
Oh, we were just, talking about the, obviously the book and everything with that being tied into the movie. Has any of the cast members ever reached out to you, or have you known?
No. That would be really awesome. That would be a once in a lifetime.
Bette Midler, if you're watching.
Yeah, please. That would be lost for words because I am a very huge fan, as you can see on the movie. So I actually went to Salem. I saw the house and all that stuff too. So, but that would be awesome. Maybe one day. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious about that.
Oh, imagine that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
now me something else. Oh man, I'll be honored.
Hey Debbie. I don't know. I guess Kimmy's still here. About how old were you? Do you remember when you first started knowing that you were gifted or had experiences?
I noticed when I was pretty much in grammar school. I always go by this story all the time. My mom, I lived with my mom, of course. We had this apartment, and we knew it was weird because when we moved in, the whole room was painted black, of course, and it had writing underneath the window. We didn't think anything of it at the time. So once we got settled, after a while, I noticed seeing things. My brother started hearing things. I specifically started seeing figures, shadows, and I started getting touched, and I started hearing voices. I know that sounds a little nuts at the moment, but you know. But anyway, I knew I was able to see things more than others can, and I just didn't understand why. My mom knew the whole time, personally, and didn't tell me any of it between, knowing about it. I'm like, why would you not tell me? I had to find out the hard way, knowing that I can see things more than others can't. And I knew right then and there, then something was off. So after a while, I finally got told. I was like, thanks a lot. Because I found books in my mom's room, meaning which books? I'm like, Mom, what are these? And she was like, what do you mean?
Charles.
I was like, what are these? Like, are you doing something with these, or are you just keeping them there as a shrine? So she was like, all right, well, I got something to tell you. So I was like, what is it? So she told me everything, and that's how I knew. I figured out that I was different than others, and then after that, along the lines, after high school, I started going to classes and tarot card classes with some friends, and my teacher said, you don't need these. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, people are very impressed on what you do. You realize that you're doing it without the cards, right? She's like, no, I don't realize what they're telling me. Like, how do you do that? And when you're sitting there, it doesn't, kick in until later. So after that, that was it. I was done. I was like, damn it. So that's how I knew I had a gift. So ever since then,
And it ran in your family?
yeah, my
The
mom.
occult. The interest in the occult, at least. Too.
Yeah, mostly my aunt, my mom's sister. My mom wasn't really too fond of it. She didn't want to talk about it, but my aunt talked about it, showed me things and stuff like that. So it's quite interesting. I enjoy having it. So sometimes yes, sometimes no. You see things that you don't want to see half the time. And it's like the one thing that I get nervous about is like when you're sleeping, you get that feeling that you're being watched half the time. And it's like, why? Just why? Because they know you can see them, and once you know that you can see them, they don't leave you alone, unfortunately. So either you like having the gift or you don't. It's a win-win.
That's what I was going to ask you that. See if you kind of learn how to turn it off and when to kind of channel it in if you need to. So
I just don't pay attention to
it. That's what I was going to say. I have been working on that, and actually, that's what I've been doing. Yeah.
Sometimes I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
If you just basically what you said like don't pay attention to it, or you just
no.
I don't know.
I do my best to mute it. I don't think about it. If once I start thinking about it, forget about it. I'm done. It's like I might as well fall over. So I just don't think about it. I pay no attention to it. Because once I start thinking about it, then it doesn't stop and it gets annoying. So yeah. Walking time bomb sometimes. But
when you go to a location or somebody's house like that, you feel it, kind of attack you and drain you and that kind of thing.
oh yeah, I feel like I got hit by a truck the next day, like really bad. It's like the worst paranormal hangover you can ever ask for. It takes like a few days just to recover. It's horrible. It all depends on the spirit's energy as well,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's horrible. So it's either drinking is horrible or a paranormal hangover is horrible. I don't know which one it is.
Drinking in real life?
Huh?
You mean like drinking yourself, or like drinking in real life, or like the spirit being a drunk spirit?
Yeah, seriously.
Because I was going to say, I've encountered, I remember several different times. I can't think of like exactly when, but like you can kind of tell, like if you can smell alcohol or something when you're encountering the spirit, you can kind of tell, if they drink or if they like to drink and stuff.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. We ran into those quite often where we had equipment. Yeah, we had equipment, and you would put the bottle on the equipment and attach it. It'll help get their attention and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is pretty cool. Like when you can go to a place and you're picking up something, but then you can use your whatever your gear you have, your equipment to kind of verify what you're feeling. I mean that's pretty cool when that happens. You can put two, both of those things together.
Yeah.
And then you're getting something for sure.
Yeah. Well, everybody likes to use me as bait.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, she's the equipment herself, so just set her in there and leave her there. And they've done that to me. I'm like, damn it. Here we go again.
Yeah. I was just putting that on there.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't ask that. I don't know if she did either. How much you sell a book for?
The books are right now, they are $65.
I mean, that's well worth it.
Yeah,
for all the work, I'm sure. Hours of work.
I try to make it as reasonable as I can for people because I know money these days are not
inflation.
So yeah.
So is it a workable book? Like, can you open it and write spells in it, or
yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. I made sure I use it. Yeah, I made sure you can open it. See?
Oh my gosh, that's even cooler yet.
Yep. You do anything you want.
To walk around and just write your stuff in there. Be walking around Salem, writing down everything you see, making some spells and some recipes.
Hey, Mommy.
Oh.
He doesn't want to go to sleep.
When you make one, do you like sign the inside cover or anything like that? Like, do you put your initials or anything in it?
You know what? I haven't even thought about that, so I may have to, because I don't want to think about. I don't know if somebody wants my autograph in it. They just maybe want it plain. So if they request that, I wouldn't mind putting my name in it. Yeah, that's fine.
I know a lot of times, like when I have my book, I sign it. I just sign the inside cover. It's just kind of a little extra, thing for them buying it, and a lot of times when we do book signings and things like that, they'll ask for to put their name on there, to whoever, but when mine goes out, I just sign it. It's just to me, it's just something a little extra. It's kind of neat, or it'd be cool if, like, maybe you did something, you wrote your name in like a little
special ink or something.
Yeah, that'd be kind of neat,
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea now that you said it, so I may consider doing that now.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because, people want a little, you made it, but sometimes they want a little, personal touch from the, the artist. Is kind of neat. So,
yeah, I think I'll do that.
Yeah, what if you get famous someday? They'll already have your autograph.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's kind of something cool. It's just something a little personal. It's kind of neat. But,
yeah.
I think those books look really cool. And when you go back to your candle making and stuff, like, is that pretty high in demand thing? I mean, you make a lot of candles.
No, it's just, like I said, I just make it the way the customer wants it. So, yep.
Do you have a lot of orders?
I
I'm
haven't
thinking-
been. People have been busy with Christmas. The money situation lately, people are having trouble, wanting things. So hopefully after the new year, things will go back to normal with everything. So we'll see,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. I can't even talk about that. I'm
What about
not,
buying eggnog?
I'm not mentioning any names with the economy. So
Give her a hug. Come on.
Now, do you make your candles with different wicks and stuff?
yeah, I can definitely do that. Yep. I made sure that the candles have that right wick, so this way when you burn it, it's a really wonderful candle. So no cheap wick in there whatsoever. So
Sorry.
no, it's okay. You're fine.
Yeah, I think people start seeing the like you said, showing off the book there. That's pretty cool because a lot of people love the movie. So, anywhere you can get out there to expose it, whether it's like on our show or wherever else. I mean, that can really help.
Conventions, paranormal conventions,
Yeah, I gotta get out and do more of those.
or farmers market.
Yeah, so I just don't know who to always contact is the problem. So everybody else does, and it's like, how do you guys do that? It's like, I'm right here. Like, send me a message somewhere.
So, as part of your services, like when you're trying to help people, do people ask you to do like tarot readings on them, or you just use it with the cards and everything?
What do you mean?
Like just ask for like a personal reading, or do you get that?
Yeah, no, yeah. I give personal readings, yes.
I thought Rosie had a question. I was gonna.
No, I was muting it. Sorry. I was trying to mute the background music. No, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't know if that was something you offered, so I was just curious.
Nope. Yeah. Yep. I do offer tarot card readings as well, and also spiritual readings.
Now, do you read auras and that kind of thing?
It depends on the aura. Sometimes it'll just come right at me. It depends how strong the aura is on the person. I've had that happen quite a few times with people. I'm like, okay, like it doesn't always happen, unfortunately, but when it does, is kind of neat. So
Yeah, we were at this convention recently, and she's sitting there talking about she'll get my aura read at this from these people, and I'm just like, it's not my thing, because it's one of those things.
I just like to push him to do stuff like that and be more susceptible or open to it, or use him as a guinea pig. I can read auras, but I don't read them like I don't always see a color. I feel their aura. Like I just know what kind of person.
Yeah, I can actually see the color of it. Like it's hard to explain, but yeah, I can actually see the color of your aura. Sometimes it depends how open you are. If you're closed off, forget it. You can't read nothing. So
yeah. We were just having that conversation while we're at our booth, and we're sitting there looking at their booth, and I'm like, I just don't get it. I'm just kind of like, I feel like I dictate how it is to me. Like I feel like I don't know. And then she ends up dragging me over to their booth and like explain to him what this is about, and I'm like, okay, but I don't know. She was like, going over all the different. The different colors and layers and everything and what they meant and how you feel and what you put off, and I don't know, they some sort of like machine that took your picture, right? Is that what it was? Like,
Yeah, and it's a chair that you sit in, and when it takes your picture, the camera that is actually made there that they use to do the aura reading, I can't remember, but there are very limited amount of them, only like, I don't know, maybe like 200 made or something like that, or even less. Might have been way less than that. But there's like only so many of that camera made, and it has a special kind of technology that can actually, how do they explain it? I can't remember, but the way that it takes your photo, um, for it to in-depthly like perceive the different parts of your aura and how it deciphers what color that they are, what kind of technology. I'm trying to remember, like probably something that has to do with temperature or um, different kind of heat signatures. I'm not sure exactly how they
yeah,
said that, but it was like
Wow.
really like a really in-depth explanation of how the aura cameras work. It was really neat.
Wow.
yeah.
Interesting.
She was kind of saying the same thing, that they use the camera, and then she can also kind of sort of tell your aura, what kind of aura you give off, and I don't know, I forgot what she even told me mom was, but what she thought, and I'm just like, I don't know, it's one of those things that's different to me than like you talking or communicating with a spirit. I'm just kind of more open to that than somebody kind of tell me what aura I'm giving off. I don't know, it just didn't make sense to me, but I tried to listen to her, I gave her a chance, but um, I was just curious to, because sometimes that goes along with this kind of thing, if you can read people's auras. So
Like I said, every once in a while, it just depends how strong it is on the person. So, like, it doesn't happen all the time. It just happens once in a while out of the blue. And I'm like, really? Like, why? So, yep, it's quite
And
interesting.
if they're not blocked or closed off.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If
I've
you're
had to
totally
do
closed off,
some.
I can't read nothing on you. So don't ask.
Sometimes if someone is like that, I'd prefer not to, because I feel like there's a motive of why they're like that. So I
Yeah.
don't need to know, because as long as, I mean, I can't be guilty if I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right. Like when I was telling you earlier, I don't want to sit with somebody and try to take guesses on things. I don't do stuff like that. I'm pretty straightforward. I tell you like it is, because I want to make sure that you have a positive reading and get what you want out of the reading. But if you sit down and be negative, if you had a bad day, if you're stressed out, it's going to affect your reading. And there's nothing I can do. I can't just fish everything out of you. You're making it harder on me for yourself to get that read that you want. So I tell people all the time to, make sure you're very open, because the more open that you are, the easier the spirits as well will come through your readings.
it's interesting.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. And it's usually like a kind of abruptly or randomly, for me anyways, randomly, abruptly, suddenly, surprisingly.
Yep.
Now, when you're giving these readings and stuff, do you tap into what they call your spirit guides? Is kind of what most people say. Say everybody has spirit guides that put off anything, or is it just more like a regular like human spirit that?
Yep. Nope. It's kind of pretty much once I go, and once I start going with things, I'm pretty much open from there. I don't really ask the spirit guides when I do this. Um, Either the spirit comes or they don't. So it's kind of win-win when it comes to the spirits. It also depends on the person too, like I said before.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Which part of things do you like doing a lot more? Do you like doing that kind of thing more, or do you actually like doing the the paranormal investigation as a at a location?
For me, I enjoy both, to be honest. I really, I don't know why, both I have a passion for a lot. I enjoy helping people, to give them some kind of grief, a point in their life to make them feel, that I'm able to make them feel at least a little bit happy when it comes to losing somebody. I enjoy doing the paranormal. It's a challenge, and I enjoy going to a building that I have never been to and taking that challenge to the next level to where it might need a clean pair of shorts. So, but yeah, I love both of them very, very much.
That's good.
It's funny. You're back
Hey,
at pee pants in case you pee in your pants.
Hey, listen, you always make sure, well, with my rule, you always bring toilet paper wherever you go when it comes to investigation. That's not no.
Jason doesn't go out in those woods very often. Wandering out there.
Unless you want to use your sock, but that's on you.
Yeah.
Or some poison ivy.
Oh, God, you don't want to do that.
You grab what you can't see. You gotta wipe some.
Hey, listen. Comes with the territory. There's nothing you can do. The ghost can't help you.
Right?
No, I don't think they can. Not with it.
No.
Being in this field and kind of doing what you do, like, is there somebody that, like, you kind of admire or look up to that kind of, you look at what they're doing and kind of, just like
somebody that molded you in your methods of madness or your techniques?
My friends and family, for the most part. So, yeah.
That's awesome, actually. I like that.
My mom was big on my first ghost movie, so ever since then, forget about it and kind of took off.
She created a monster.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, she sure did. Yep.
She embraced your whatever you want to call it, curiosity.
Yep, curiosity killed the cat. So I didn't do that yet. So.
Hopefully not yet. Nope.
No.
You're too young for that.
No. I'm a big horror fan too. So.
Yeah. Are you?
Oh yeah. I love my horror. Love it to death. Yep.
What is your favorite kind of horror movies? Like, is there a specific like time era or genre or?
I got a big list. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We do too. He's gonna show you all of his horror stuff.
Oh, only if I had my horror figures out, he would be like limit. I literally have so much horror stuff. You would be like, "Are you serious?" So I go to Monster Mania conventions and all that other stuff. Yep, me too with the posters. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it.
You got a new friend
now. We're bonding, so that's a good thing. So thank you for that.
Right.
So go ahead if you had a question.
I was just gonna say I could talk about that stuff all day.
Oh, great! We should do an episode on enemy horror.
Yeah.
So, I actually met Linda Blair at in convention and got her autograph.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just packed away. So sadly to say.
Very similar to some of my stuff. I have autographs laying over there because I had so much stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I have that. The Craft. I'm big on the Craft movie.
Yep. I love the Craft.
Very, very big on that movie.
Practical Magic.
Elvira, I'm huge on her. I have her autograph. I met her. I was so happy that I think I was more happy meeting Linda
jealous.
Blair. So
no, I would be like speechless if I met Elvira. I would be like, "What do I do? I don't know what to do."
Well, I was pretty speechless myself. I almost fell over and had a heart attack, but that's normal when it comes to that stuff.
I would probably be just staring at her, and not say anything. And Jason would be like,
"Go talk
to her."
Yeah, we've had some. We've been pretty lucky. We've had a lot, horror people on our show. So, people have played Jason Voorhees and stuff. So we had a couple different
Yep.
Jasons on here. Yeah.
Yeah, I met one of them, and I met the guy from Hellraiser. So he was really neat.
Oh, wow.
He's really a nice guy.
Was he in costume or no?
No, sad to say he wasn't.
That would be so creepy.
I know.
It's like one of the creepiest horror movie killers.
New series is actually really good.
I have not seen it.
You gotta watch it. It's really good. So
I'll check it out. Right now I'm watching Wednesday, so everyone kept telling me to watch Wednesday, you'll love it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll try it.
Yeah, I think I have 2 episodes left on it. I'm actually enjoying it myself. I was actually kind of surprised how good it was. So,
but if Elvira has anything new ever, I will be watching it. I had an Elvira shirt on before I put this on. I have several Elvira shirts.
Yeah, I have the Elvira Ouija board somewhere. So.
Oh my God, I'm gonna steal it if I ever come to New Jersey. Watch out!
Oh God. Yep.
What did he go get? He must have went to get something. What is it?
Oh crap!
His friend.
Yeah, I want to get the one that's in the real life one, and you put it in the box. That's my next step. Please don't do that. I wasn't paying attention. I was like, what?
Yeah.
We have it already?
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah.
She's been a lot of places with us and stuff. So.
She's been on the road.
Yep.
That's cool.
Everybody loves Annabelle.
Yes, they do. People flock to her like it's a kitten or a puppy or something. Yeah. Even kids.
Yeah, her face is strange. Yeah. Why would you do that? Right. Dolls kind of creep me out, and I collect them, but they creep me out. So.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, I collect a lot of weird stuff. You'll be like, "What? Why do you have that?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just have it."
She's got a bunch of dolls, haunted dolls and stuff. So.
Yes, I do. I have a pretty big collection. And I've tried to sell some and weed them out, and I still have a really big collection.
Hey, listen, if you try to get rid of them, I wouldn't mind.
Sometimes I post them on my Facebook. So, like, if you're friends with me, follow me, and I'll post them sometimes.
Yeah, I'm
like
huge
what their names are.
I'm a big Ouija board collector. So,
that sounds like Jason. That's more like Jason.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I have one, and I would like a homemade one, like one of the really big, really nice carved wood ones with the wood planchette. But that would be my end. I would be fine.
I have it downstairs in my office. My brother actually got me a homemade wooden Ouija board, and he actually had it carved in the back, the writing from Witchboard. So,
wow.
So when I go downstairs, I'll send you a picture of it, and it's actually really, really neat.
Yeah, and send it to both of us, or send it to me, and I'll send it to him, or if you want to send it to him again.
I'll definitely. You'll love it.
I just like weird, creepy stuff. I don't really see myself getting a big collection of boards, only if they were unique and they had belonged to someone. And like they died or something and they were just trying to get rid of it, or it was old and it had some historical or specific value or like story about it. Other than that, I wouldn't just like myself, which there's nothing wrong with anyone that does this. I wouldn't just like go places like collecting Ouija boards. It'd have to be like something special about each item that I collected. Hey, girl.
Yeah, that's how I am too. I like collecting the old Ouija boards as well, the real unique ones. I'm the same way.
Yeah, I don't use them, but I like having them. I think they're cool.
Yeah, I mean, I do admit I do tend to, not play with them here, but once in a blue moon, I'll get that urge to play with them. Oops.
Once in a blue moon, what?
You can't help it. It's like, you know, give it a little try.
There you
see
go,
if it works.
Jason. There's your friend that likes playing Ouija boards. If we ever go to New Jersey, we'll have to hit her up.
Right? Huh.
Yeah, and hang out and go stalk some cemeteries and play some Ouija boards.
Hey, I'm all for it. Whenever you guys are ready, I'm ready. I got my equipment just sitting there, and
I feel like I'm weird and boring. Like you sound like more exciting than
no,
me.
I'm sure you're not boring.
I don't know. Between me and Jason, I'm probably more boring than he is.
No,
Right.
no, I'm sure you guys are just fine.
But every time
I'll
I
get
say
it
that,
out of
people
you.
are like, "No, you're not boring," and I'm like, "I don't know. Maybe it's just my old soul. Maybe it just makes me feel like I am."
No, you're
She's
fine.
she's not really boring. Usually when we're given like we're doing our lectures or whatever at different conventions, she's always saying something like making fun of me or something about something or whatever. But
I
you know,
never know what kind of mood I'll be in when we're doing that.
you know, yeah, it's fun doing that for sure.
Sorry,
But
my eyebrows are not even.
I don't know if anybody's interested, but I'll just I'll tell you if you haven't got the latest haunted magazine.
No, I haven't. I've been seeing those.
Yeah, Nick. This is one that Nick and his new wife signed. I don't know if you see it, but Nick Groff.
He gets all that stuff.
I don't know. They're like $30 out there, but they only had a limited supply left. So if anybody's interested in buying this latest issue of Haunted Magazine that's signed by him, there you go.
I would like their autographs, but I'd probably be like, I gotta meet them, huh?
Yeah.
I was trying to get into talking with them to get me into one of their articles, but they haven't got back to me on anything with that. So,
Right.
Well, me and Jason are pretty good at that. Maybe he could
We
put
are.
a word in for you.
yeah, I appreciate it. I'm actually, I was just in a magazine. It should be on my page somewhere. It was actually really neat. And I'm actually in Spotlight's magazine, Paranormal. It'll be ready January 3rd. So
Oh, wow.
I can't wait for that. So I'm pretty excited.
That's how I picked her up, because she was actually like you. She was like steamrolling, putting her stuff out there like, hey, I'm doing this and this and that. Can like, like basically like, can we network with each other? And I saw that she had messaged, I think it was I used to have a show on Parapost. Was it Parapost? Did you message Parapost? I think you messaged Parapost, and I used to have a show on Parapost, so I can still like when it goes into their Parapost messages, I can still see it. And I was like, hey, she looks interesting, so I'm gonna approach her. You want to be on our show?
Sure.
But that's exactly the way you do it. You do it like that.
That's what she was doing.
Yeah. Put yourself out there and put your team out there, and then you'll end up in a bunch of like shows like ours or whatever else. But yeah, you keep plugging away at the the magazine things. That's pretty cool. Then people be reading about you and interested, and they'll say, I saw that girl in a magazine, and then watch whatever show you're on if they see it. That's cool. But
yeah,
then you might be autographs in the magazine for them someday.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows what the new year's gonna bring? So
right now it's no secret, but as of right now, but this is issue 36 of Haunted Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that.
Yep.
But we're going to be featured in issue 37, so we're going to be on the cover and everything. So that's going to be cool.
That's awesome! Congratulations. Thank
you. Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, it should be a pretty neat deal. But Haunted Magazine's a pretty big deal. If nobody follows it, you should, check it out. They're out of the UK, so
I'm pretty sure I told you about them. I'm still in that credit.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. You probably did.
Someone had a question for her.
Yeah.
Can you read someone who has had a near-death experience?
I have to be honest with you. I haven't come across that yet. you never know when that comes across. Probably. But as of right now, to answer your question, no, I haven't done that yet.
You know what's weird? I can actually say yes for me. When I was doing like training for psychic medium work to speak with spirits, I was actually picking up humans that are alive still, and I thought they were spirits because there were people that had something happen to them a couple times. Had something happen to them, and I thought it was a spirit that died that I was describing or feeling or like hearing. Sorry, it was a dog. And it wasn't. It was people that were alive. And I was like, oh, I connected the dots. And I was like, no, this is this person right here. I didn't know that. Or this person right here. Or someone would be like, oh, that's me. Or I would feel if someone had an organ removed, or if they have had cancer in a certain spot and stuff like that. You mean something kind of like that, Charles?
It's interesting.
Yeah. Multiple times that's
Maybe
happened, and it wasn't even a spirit.
Remember.
It was a human that's alive.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's even weirder to me.
Wow.
If that's the case with Charles here, maybe you can reach out to both of y'all and figure out
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
that's
could
no
use him
problem.
as a guinea pig to practice.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be pretty cool.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
so-
though, for some reason when he asked that, I feel something like throat, neck, either smoke inhalation, choking, strangulation, or hanging, or slit throat.
Yep.
So
I get
there
the
is an
exact.
Yeah.
When
What were we gonna say,
somebody-
Jason?
When somebody's passed away, they tell me how they passed. I would get the same way how you would get. My chest would hurt if they had a heart attack. If they got hung, I feel like I'm being choked to death. So
Mhm.
I
I feel like he had either a trach in his throat, or he had oxygen that was making his throat go up and down, or he had some kind of obstruction of oxygen. But last time, a 50-foot fall. That's everything. That's like your whole body. So you definitely were on a respirator then, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And had some kind of help breathing, because that would basically shatter every bone in your body, or most of them, unless you landed on a mattress.
Yeah. It's pretty wild on how spirits really do show you how they passed away and how it affects you while you're trying to read them. And some of it's is not so fun sometimes, because you're kind of feeling the same pain what they had been through. And it's like, it really does really take a toll on you after a while. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's what we go through sometimes.
The number 3 too. The number 3 just popped up for me, like 3 minutes.
So, do you? I don't know if you guys follow. Did you follow each other on Facebook or anything? Both of y'all?
I don't know what I need to actually follow, like all of your stuff, all of your different things that you sent me. I'll follow all those.
Yeah, I will definitely. When we're done tonight, I'll send you both all my information and my pages, and make sure you guys are on there and everything. So, yep.
So that being said, what's do you have? Can you tell us what you have coming up or anything like that, or?
What I have coming up is more guests. I have a very special guest coming up before the new year ends. I can't wait. I'm not going to spoil any details. And my January is getting booked already. So if you are interested in being on my broadcast, you gotta have to do it now, because I am getting booked. So for the month of January, it's not even here yet. I will be, the only thing I got coming up that I'm really excited for is not until next October. I'm going to New Orleans for Fear Fest. I was invited to that. I was considering going to Tennessee for Bigfoot, so we'll see about that event. So yeah, so we'll see what happens for the new year.
You should definitely go to Tennessee for Bigfoot. Tennessee
Yeah.
is an awesome place
Yeah.
to go.
I was invited to go to that as well, so I'm really excited. I've been getting a lot of offers, so I hope I get more. So we'll see what happens.
That's cool. And what was that? You said you had an upcoming magazine you're going to be in. What was that?
Yes, they're called Spotlight, and it will be ready January 3rd. I'm really excited about it. So my latest one that I was just in, I'll make sure that I'll send it to you guys so this way you guys can share it. He did a really good job making it. I actually just had him on my show last week, my last one. So.
That's
Well,
cool.
thank you for being on the show. We appreciate
thank
you.
you for having me. I really appreciate it, and thank you for rescheduling. I appreciate that as
You're
well.
welcome. It was good getting to know you.
Well,
Thank
good,
you.
good. I'm glad. Yes.
Thanks
You
everybody
guys
for
are
watching.
Would I ask one more question? Would you be willing to come back on at some point?
Oh, I would love to.
Cool. And we'll keep up with you, and then maybe later on,
Yeah.
after something happens, we'll get you back on.
Sure. I'm here whenever you guys are ready.
And this will be our last show of the year. So we're not going to have another show until January. So thank you for being on our last show of 2022. And I hope everybody watching has a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy Kwanzaa, cool Yule, Feliz Navidad, Happy New Year.
For sure. So we'll see you
See
later.
you guys next year.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.